Welcome back to some more Dwarf Fortress, or rather, the start of the new fortress. So, it's actually been a couple of days since I have recorded last. Of course, the days tend to blur together a little bit when you're busy. But a quick overview of the fortress, and as usual, I am playing Dodge the Caverns. Part of me sort of wished there was a mode where it would simply highlight the sort of empty cavern space in red and leave the sort of diggable stone area in, say, a nice gray color, easily distinguishable, but otherwise leaving you completely clueless as to what you're actually digging through. So, with that sort of said and done, let's take a quick look at the fortress. One of the sort of primary goals for this fortress is most of my previous fortresses have had a mountain or something to dig into. This area is completely flat, with the exception of the river to the south and west, some assorted bodies of water which are going to need to be filled in and or drained, and the ocean/beach to the north. So, aside from that, the map's completely flat. This does take away the sort of immediately available option of let's hit the side of a mountain or hill or something, dig in quickly, and find somewhere safe to put our dwarves, as well as all of our food and other assorted commodities that we need to have to sort of get by the day-to-day grind. So, with that said, the first thing we're going to be doing is trimming a couple of trees and moving downward. There really isn't any other option. In the interim, I have had a bit of time to read up on the new features of DF 2014. The trees are relatively simple to cut down still. You simply chop away a single block, and the tree does its best to fall away from the dwarf who cut it down. No guarantees, of course, and it's probably best to have a single dwarf, possibly two, to the tree trimming detail, lest you have a tree fall on a poor helpless dwarf, and they get smushed. So, with only 7 dwarves, 2 of them dedicated miners, let's do our best not to lose anyone. So, with that said, I do have the map fully revealed, and I have spent the past, actually quite a few hours, trying to puzzle out the best way of doing the fortress. But I think I have successfully, or rather, I have come up with a adequate solution, at least for the time being. So, another very slight addendum. Due to a slight miscalculation or error, or just outright forgetting to take them out, there is an aquifer on the map, and that should provide us with loads of fun. So, the previous fortress, one of my sort of primary complaints, was the amount of hauling time that it took to process any goods. So, an invasion comes in, either gets caught in the traps or outright killed by our defenses, and drops a mundane and pretty useless piece of, let's call it, iron armor. Said iron could easily be processed into steel and used for our own military needs. However, first it had to be collected, then hauled down several flights of stairs, and by several, I think the previous fortress was 80 or 90, past 2 levels of security, through some additional tunnels, and the entire trip took something along the lines of 200 to 300 tiles. So, not that big of a deal, but that adds up relatively quickly. Slight bias due to the 30 FPS instead of 100 FPS that DF starts with. So, instead of starting with the top and going down, let's start with the bottom and going up. So, as usual, I will be uploading the save and including that. It should be the raw save. There may be the map already revealed, but this should be the save from once the embark lands. So, if you feel like it, you can try your hand at this map and see if you can come up with a better solution to, or rather a different way of losing your fortress. So, anyway, F1, of course, is the default wagon, and I used F4 last time for the sort of deep industry, so let's use that again. So, we have the lava directly below this. I'm not going to go any deeper, but this is the smelting room and tunnel up. This is the start of a rather lengthy project that took me the better part of 4 or 5 hours. I don't actually remember, but it was quite some time. This is for the trade caravans, and we are on layer 111. So, heavy industry going up 1 layer, industrial storage. This is for the initial metal, sort of keeping the metal close at hand idea. Then up some more, we have the dining room. This is going to be the primary dining room for the fortress. It might be a little bit small, so if it needs to be reworked a little bit, I do have some room allocated. But for the time being, main dining hall. Also, this fortress is going to be capped at 150 instead of 200. I might go in, depending on how bad the FPS gets, and cap that off a little bit earlier. But the sort of end product is the fortress will be slightly smaller. And we come up some more. Bottom row of bedrooms, standard 2x3 with a door. Slightly smaller footprint, again, smaller fortress, less rooms. Hopefully we can get the dwarves paired off. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 layers of bedrooms, which should be more than enough. And through that we have the standard single shaft plus corner access shafts. Then we come up, and actually what I'm going to do, to avoid too many extra spoilers, if I can find it, is... There we go. A little bit easier to see, hopefully. Much, much better. Okay, so, heavy industry and smelters. This is going to be the magma. We're not going to mess around with trying to move stuff again. Been there, done that. Let's not do it again. Metal storage and industry. This is going to get split out a little bit more. Coming up, main dining room. Tunnel up. Bedrooms, layers. 9 layers of these. And up some more. And off to the side we have the wagon access point. Main tunnel over, and main tunnel up. This is going to be using the same format. 8 bits of stairs. This is the up-down stairs with the hollow spot in the middle. Perfect for displaying the always popular golden statues of your best friend. Or, of course, of yourself. So, we come up some more, and up some more, and here is the sort of lower levels of the primary defense. This is going to be the encourage you to dodge off the edge into a rather deep pit. Same procedure as before. Of course, I do need to do a set of stairs, and I'm going to put said set of stairs Actually, I only need to put one. I only need to put a single stairwell. Save a little. And a down stairwell. So, same idea as before. Long, narrow, windy path. Encourages you to dodge off and not really stick around. This is going to take a little bit of redesigning, seeing as the enemies can now climb, so in theory they can dodge off, fall, and then climb right back up the side. So that's going to be between this episode and next, or maybe a little bit later. But before I actually finalize this, I'll need to make some adjustments. So here we have more up, and a bunch more up. There we go. So we finally get to the top level, a nice little corridor for other project reasons. And finally, upstairs, the water. These are the brown spots of tree roots, which in this version are a little bit wonky. But we come up here. Here is the temporary housing, offices and workshop and the like. So nothing great, nothing fancy, just enough to pop down a couple of beds and let everyone take a nap. And of course the top of the world. So let's go ahead and get this Dwarf Fortress started. I think for now I will actually make a cut in the video here and get everything properly started on the next video. So until then, stay safe.